Black bipolar female. Black bipolar female. Black bipolar female.
Some people believe that work-life balance is a myth. You fit things in when you can and take it one day at a time. This makes perfect sense to me. I have a lot of competing priorities, particularly when it comes to juggling things that I have to do versus the things that I want to do. And then there are the things I feel I must do in order to work towards the future. And somewhere in the midst of the work, I still have to be there for my family and maintain my relationships with my friends. And I can't forget how I need to maintain my health by taking medication daily, sleeping, trying to get in some exercise, and I could just keep going on. But you already know all of these things because you're probably trying to manage some of these same things in your life right now. I used to want to plan my life over a long period of time. I think about what I want to get done for the month, and then the next few months, and then the next year, and then the year after that, and so on. Sometimes I would plan all the way out until I retired. Then I would remember that rarely does anything go according to plan. But I always thought even though things never really go according to plan, it's always nice to have a plan to fall back on, especially when things start to happen that, I'm not expecting. It's a good way to get back on track if I have a plan. It worked for me when I was originally diagnosed with bipolar disorder because I had already started school. People think I was resilient and dedicated for going back to school after the diagnosis, but in reality, I couldn't come up with any alternative plans because I was so sick. So I just went after the goal I'd already made. Now, whenever I get sick, whether physically or mentally, I always try to hold on to something from before I got sick to help me get back on track. When I was younger, it was school, and when I left school, it became a job. They are the quickest ways to get my mind back on track, and they are the easiest ways to get back into a routine. And as I've stated before, a routine can keep you healthy, but it can also get your life back on track when the plan you've made for your life seems to be derailed. These days, I try not to plan too far ahead. I don't even know that I'll be alive at whatever age I think I should retire, and I have no idea if I will live long enough to accomplish all or even most of the things I want to do. So I don't even really plan further than a few months at a time these days. I'm never really sure what I'll be able to get done until I finish some of the other things I'm doing, because new goals are dependent upon completing prior goals. I accept the fact that I have to crawl before I walk, I have to walk before I jog, I have to jog before I run. I used to think that the beginning was the hardest part, but now I feel like maintaining momentum is the hardest thing to do. I realize now that the beginning is really the most exciting bit. In reality, moving forward in the middle is the toughest thing to do because I really have to motivate myself, because the only reason I'm doing the work is because I want to, and I really have to want to keep going. And I do really want to because I don't want to put my entire life into the hands of others. My parents want me to follow their advice. Work wants me to do as they say. And people can't understand why I would invest so much time and energy into things that may never pay off in the long run. But regardless of the end results, I feel I'm investing in my future. At the end of the day, my parents will pass away, and work will decide that I'm no longer a good fit, and I'll only be left with the decisions I made on my own, working towards the things that I love. Hard work does actually pay off. The trick is you don't know how or when it will, but if you don't put in the work, it definitely won't.
Black bipolar female. Black bipolar female.